Now, in today's episode, whoa, this is very interesting, and I'll tell you why this is a very interesting episode, right? It is interesting because take a look at Brigadier Gininda, and please explain this to me, right? They brought the so-called man of integrity, Mr. Zungu, who saw a different polo, right? And then look, Gininda said it's a different car altogether, right? Move with me. But today we get to see that it's actually a different car as well. According to the statements of people who saw the car and the guy standing outside, they saw a different color. So you've got about 3 different colors. What are we going to make about that? Guys, a cross-examination is nothing is as nice as a cross-examination because people are busy exposing themselves. But it's not just about people exposing themselves. It's about the fact that you need to watch this video until the end because wow, I want you guys to take a look at the statement of Gininda applying the warrant of arrest for Kelly Khumalo, which we need an explanation. They still owe us an explanation as to why did that warrant of arrest not succeed. But take a look at this.
This suspect, in brackets, Nonhlanhla Kelly Khumalo, is first linked by means of confessions that were made by both accused number 1 and 2, as they both implicate her as the person that gave the instructions to kill Senzo Meyiwa. Investigations further revealed that she had 4 other cell numbers that she did not disclose to the police when these incidents took place. The numbers are as follows: 079, bullet point number 1, 079 494 8773. Bullet point number 2, 073 451 5017. Bullet point number 3, 073 388 6730. And the last bullet point, 061 456 2104. Investigations further revealed that she is linked to the actual perpetrators of this murder by means of cell phone linkages. These linkages connect her to accused 3 and 5. It was further discovered that through cell phone analysis that her cell phone memory has the same photo of a see-through bag containing cash notes and in the exact position, location, and spot as the one of accused 3. Longwetwala has the same bag of money. There is no reasonable explanation as to why Kelly Khumalo will be in contact telephonically with hitmen of her boyfriend. There is also communication records between her and her sister shows that as early as 2013, she wanted to get rid of the deceased, as she puts it clearly on the WhatsApp messages. It is abundantly clear that she hated him and wanted to get rid of him. She further states that she regrets not succeeding to get rid of him before. Taking into account all of these facts, an inference can be drawn that she meant killing him. Paragraph 4. Evidence by means of sworn, corroborating, and independent witness statements establish a causal link between the offenders and the offenses of murder, robbery with aggravating circumstances, possession of unlicensed firearms, and the unlawful possession of ammunition, and conspiracy to commit murder. Ms. Kelly Khumalo seems to be the trigger point of this offense. I hereby apply for the warrant of arrest for Nonhlanhla Kelly Khumalo on charges of conspiracy to commit murder and murder. Paragraph 5, it's the taking of the oath. It is that signed by yourself and commissioned by the commissioner who I have mentioned before, Detective Sergeant Mulawiti.
Okay. So now, that is one of the questions that you need to ask yourself, right? As to why he did not succeed in getting the statement. But there are a lot of things that happened in court today that is worth of our attention. And so we're going to deal with those things appropriately. We're going to deal with those things the right way. And what's the right way? Don't worry, right? One of the things that I also want us to talk about is the fact that is the woman called Stenkam, right, who was giving us the description of the drawings. All the people who were in that house went to give that depiction, right? There's something to be noted about that. So already we've got three things, right? It's the different kinds of different types of cars. Somebody saw this color. It was an Uno. It was a red. It was a great Polo. It was a white car. It was this. Then is the statement of Brigadier Gininda trying to get what we call it a warrant of arrest, motivating why he needs to get the warrant of arrest against Kelly Khumalo, right? And there they also an explanation. And then it is the woman called Amanda Stenkam with the report and give us the description of how the people in the house were able to describe they were able to describe only one person, right? Very interesting. It is very interesting. You need to pay attention to that because it is very, 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 very interesting, right? So Ramsepile, now he was going through the statement taken about the firearm as well. That's something that we need to know because the people were in that house. All of them are saying it was a revolver, right? So where do we get where do we get? Hey guys, kumnandi. When you are listening to this case and you've got to ask yourself a question, or you can't help but ask yourself a question: what is actually happening here? Because about Gininda, they are telling us this, but the people who were in that house are telling us a different story. It is an intruder. No, it's not an intruder. You know, when I say the problem with lies is that it never stick like a glue, like a super glue, in fact, to be specific. That is what we are basically experiencing in the sense of Mahiwa case. So all those things we will talk about those things in today's episode. But before we can proceed in today's episode, I would also like to say, guys, it would be great if you guys understand that we're on our journey to 60,000 subscribers. And right now, we are sitting comfortably at 59,000 subscribers. So we need 1,000 subscribers, and please do this. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. All right, good people, let's start again. Tell me something. Tell me, why do we have the people in the house describing a revolver, but now we have a 9mm? One. Tell me why the people in the house, it's a robbery gone wrong. Police, it's actually not a robbery gone wrong. It's basically a hit. Tell me why Zandi Khumalo said the hitmen are from Nongoma and Mandisa is from Nongoma, so it is Mandisa that must be investigated. But Brigadier Gininda says today there was a communication that it's not explainable. The relationship thereon is not explainable. He was communicated, Kelly Khumalo was communicated with hitmen, right? So I told you, Zandi Khumalo, the lesser you speak, the better. Because the more you speak, it's the more you create problems, not only for yourself, but for everybody that was involved in that case. Because if you listen to Brigadier Gininda's testimony, it directly implicates even you. Brigadier Gininda directly said, even you, Zandi Kumalo, you lied, right? So you can see that now, even you see this thing of you talking too much. Today we are busy quoting you. We wouldn't have been quoting you had you realized that that it was important for you to just shut up. Just shut up. Because the more you talk, it's the more you're not doing a favor for yourself. So now, and then Brigadier Gininda mentioned that there was a media statement on the media about Brigadier Gininda stealing a docket, stealing a statement in a docket, and thus the NPA, together with the NPA, they decided that it was important that Brigadier Gininda do the right thing and all the stuff. And one thing that I'm certain about, that those allegations did not emanate on the air. It did not emanate on the air. So what is my responsibility? I think I need to go and research about what originated these things, right? And then Brigadier Gininda took us through to people who were investigators before. It was Modise. Gininda says the first investigator were the DPCI, which is, we know them as Hawks, and cell phone were seized, downloaded by the Hawks, which is not important at this moment because those people they can't come and tell us what they did, right? We want to know what happened. And then Gininda told us that their team was appointed on the 12th of November 2018. So you need to count November. So you need to say 2019, 2019, 2020, they made a breakthrough. Now, you will remember when I spoke to Snqobile, she revealed that there were so many people that were arrested in this case. So many people from Gwanongoma who were arrested in this case, right? So in 2019, in fact, not even from Gwanongoma, by the way, now I remember. Do you remember that the guy who used to wash Kelly Komalo's car and Senzo Mewa's car, as it has been alleged, that guy got arrested? You remember that he was released, right? And then a number of people from Gwanongoma also got arrested and also were released, right? So it means that from 2018, look, they came up with the plan, and then a lot of people got arrested before this accused. Now we're supposed to trust them that they know what they are doing, right? I don't know. I find it very difficult. Those are some of the things that were mentioned today in court. What else? What else? The copies of the docket, I'm not interested in that because okay, I'm just checking, I'm just reading something here, but we dealt with docket 375, Mgomezu Loko Ramsepile. The thing is, the reason I'm saying I'm not interested now is because I think the story of docket 375, it need an episode on itself where we look at Gininda and the docket 375, the relationship with docket 375, right? So we will come back to this one. But what I can tell you is, Gininda, speaking about docket 375, he's saying there was never a parallel investigation that happened. Basically, according to Gininda, the docket 375 is about defeating the ends of justice, but docket 636 is about the people who took the life of Senzo Meyiwa. At least that is what we are being told by Brigadier Gininda to say no, basically. So I don't know. I need to. Look, I'm going to talk to somebody about docket 375, right? We'll come back to docket 375 because it's one of the most important. It is one of the most important docket, right? We also got to be told about Makubu and Buthelezi leaving the investigating team, where and the circumstances in which they left the investigating team. Gininda says they just went their separate way, but it was never mentioned that they be part of the team. Reports were no longer coming through, and so here that's where I basically. Listening to Brigadier Gininda, what I actually realized is that in fact, even it was said in court, by Brigadier Gininda himself that there was an issue of trust. They couldn't trust one another concerning the investigation that was ongoing in the very same case of Senzo Meyiwa, right? Because of that, because there was no longer trust among themselves, so hence they went their separate ways. Why? The question that you and I, knowing what we now know, having the privilege of watching the case, watching the case and getting the revelations brought daylight, I think I'm subject to correction. I'm a man, born under sin, subject to correction. What I say is, I think the team Buthelezi and Makubo, they quickly realized that, you know what, these people cannot be trusted. I'm telling you now. They quickly realized that there is so much of fabrication of evidence. Well, Judge, by the way, utetina we askhohlwanga ukuthi thina we are fake experts. Even that today we learned that on YouTube there are fake experts. Hey, askhohlwanga asikhohlanga, that here on YouTube but right. So yeah, so I think knowing what we know, get into the conversation below. Tell me what you think about it. By the way, before I proceed, good people, I do remember that during the lunch, I tried to go live. I just don't know what happened. There's no sound in the app. I usually use there's an app that is called OBS. So I used OBS to go live. But yeah, today I did not succeed in doing all those things. And so I've been trying to go live. I've been trying to do a live stream where we can interact live, but I'm gonna try it next week, because the court will be back on the next week Wednesday. So I'm hoping and wishing that on Wednesday we will be live. So I will try and sort out those problems. I've been trying to prepare all those things behind the scenes. With that being said, let's proceed again. So Buthelezi, we're not reporting to reporting to them, and the copies of the docket were not given, and there was no parallel investigation. You know, there is the explanation when you listen to Gininda explaining docket 375, you get something else. Like I'm curious to have Makubo breaking down, because during a cross-examination, during a trial within a trial, he did not have the time to break down case 375. If he had the chance to break down, I'm definitely sure we're gonna learn a lot, because today this man is just making case 375. He's making basically what he's doing. I'll tell you this now. And what I'm about to teach, what I'm about to say, if you are asked a question in an interview, you're going to use the same trick that Gininda is using. Or if you are selling yourself, you can be honest, but use the same trick that Gininda is using. Or if whatever, you know, when you sell a product, you can sell a product, use the same trick that Gininda is using. What is the trick that Gininda is using? What Gininda does, when he speaks of case 375, he raises the voice and emphasizes the importance of the docket 375. When Gininda speaks about 636, he raised the voice and put more emphasis and make it look like it's the most important docket to have, right? But when it goes to docket or case 375, he then lowers the voice. What it does in human psychology, it says that this is less important, but the other one is more important. Where I raise the voice and put more emphasis, the human mind says this is the most important thing. But where I lower my voice, the human mind says this is not important. For instance, you can go to an interview and say, actually, you know what? My strong point is what, because they will ask you about your SWOT. They will ask you about, what is it? They'll say, tell us about yourself. Yes, when you get to that question, that is where you use Gininda's trick. I'm just teaching you something. So what you do, you look at all your strength and you're looking at all your weakness. You start by your strength, and then when you talk about your strength, you wake up, you raise your voice properly, not shouting, but you talk, and you are so emphatic. You emphasize on all the good things that you can do for the company, or the good things that you when yourself you are able to do. I'm a reader. I love studying. All those things. But when you come to your weak points and then you say, "Hey, God, I have this little weak points." That is what Gininda was doing. So I have these minor problems. Even if the problems are above the strength. But the manner in which you present the problems, you make it look small. It will take a very intelligent person to pick up that, the game, what you are doing there. But that's how people are selling even a product. When it comes to the most important fixtures in the product, you raise your voice and you put in more emphasis, and you are more emphatic. Today. So you emphasize on all of the most important things. But when it comes to the weakness point of the product, the weakness of the product, that's when you lower the voice and you say, "Oh, the product has got, this," even the way you say it, "The product has got, this just 1, 2, and 3 problem." The way I said it, it makes the mind look at the problem so small. That is what Gininda was doing. He does that with Docket 375. He says, Docket 375, right? Yes, Docket 375. But Docket 636, yes, that's a real Docket. I listened to him. I was like, I know what you're doing there. Stop doing it. I know what you're doing there. Right. And then being asked, the reason did Makubo refuse to give the Docket 375. Then the meeting that was held on the 29th of January 2019 with Brigadier Pruman, right? Gininda, although I cannot say verbatim, but there was a resistance and there was also a call before. In other words, Ubuthelezi, together with Umakubu, they realized that Docket 375 is not safe in the hands of Gininda. They just literally refused. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Knowing what you know today, having looked at the trial and how the trial transpired, will you blame Makubo? Will you blame Buthelezi for refusing to give this team Docket 375? Me, you know what I believe? I believe that they would have made Docket 375, had they gotten a fair chance, they would have made Docket 375 a part of their docket. They would have presented it as their information so that Docket 375 does not stand. They would have made sure that they destroy the content of Docket 375. In that, if they can't directly contaminate the information thereon, then they would have taken the information and put it on the trial. Why I'm saying that is because I can see them being capable of that. Why? You will remember that the same Brigadier Gininda made a call, and I still have the video where Sifiso Meyiwa told us that Brigadier Gininda made a call to the Hawks, because Makubu works for the Hawks. He made a call to the Hawks, instructing Makubo to stop with this thing of wanting to arrest him, and it was a threat, right? You remember that? And then we got to know that the SAPS management had to come in and say that whatever will happen to this man, Gininda will account. And then that's when Gininda sees pursuing Umakubu and forcing Umakubu. So if Brigadier Gininda right now, right, had such an audacity to force Umakubu to reveal certain information about this, what would have stopped him? I'm going to say this again. What would have stopped them to destroy the Docket 375? So from where I'm seated, it makes a lot of sense for these people not to give them Docket 375. It made a lot of sense. They would have made means to destroy Docket 375. Docket 375 was never safe in their hands. I'm telling you, If if they would have not succeeded in destroying this docket, they would have copied the information inside, put it on docket 375, docket 636, so that it's their docket now. They function like narcissists. Narcissists are people who think that everything must always be about them, right? And they function around that everything, it's about, they are the ones who are right, you are the one who's wrong. Those are some of the things that I've actually came to pick up in this case. And I could have gone on and on and on, right? Now we are dealing with the case. We are dealing with the Senzo Mewa case. And you can even tell the energy that we have. I was even watching just on SABC alone when the case was live. I saw that usually that case would have maybe had people around 6,000 watching that case. But as soon as the cross-examination started, people moved from 6,000 to 10,000. I saw that it was consistent around 10,000 people watching that case. People suddenly had a serious interest on the case. Why? Because now we are now dealing with a real case, not this thing that we've been dealing with. But nonetheless, they're seeing that now we are dealing with a real case. Get into the comment section below. Tell me what you think about everything that I've just said to you now. There's more that is coming up. Definitely, there's more. We're going to dissect this piece by piece until we meet again on the next episode. Good people, please take care.